Hello guys, it's HW Sport 90 here with an exclusive video, and we shift gears back again at the Euro 2024 with the round of 16 ties are set to be played, and today I think we have Italy versus Switzerland, and we have Germany coming up against Denmark. Tough games as well, but I think Germany have shown that they are capable of doing wonders, and I think they can be a threat to Denmark. Italy versus Switzerland is going to be a tough match because I think both two teams have been impressive quite so far in this Euro 2024. But we are going to talk about England versus Slovakia and Spain versus Georgia. These two set of games are set to be played tomorrow in Germany. And we are going to look at to them, analyze those two games that are set to be played tomorrow. First, we are going to start with England versus Slovakia. England. I know many were expecting England to be, or rather, to be a superior team as far as EURO24 was concerned, because looking at their squad, the players that were picked by manager Southgate, I think starting from the goalkeeper to attacker Harry Kane, I think England have a great squad depth, and they have players with qualities. Even if you look at their bench, you can still shake, because Mainoo, Palmer, Adam Watson is there. The like of Ivan Toney, Oliver Kings. So what really went wrong with England? Why have they not clicked yet? So this is a question that most of us are asking ourselves. What is wrong with England? Because there have been question marks regarding Gary Southgate's tactics and ideas in this Euro, and many fans have been calling for him to step down or get sacked, because England have only managed to score 2 goals in this Euro, which goals scored by Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. The only goals so far scored by England. But looking at their squad, they have Harry Kane, who was the German Bundesliga top scorer last season. We have Cole Palmer, who was a runner-up in EPL Golden Boot. We have Phil Foden, Player of the Year in the English Premier League. And we have Jude Bellingham, I think, who was among the top 3 in Spanish La Liga top scoring record. So I think looking at these records and looking at these players, how they performed for their respective clubs in the last season, you'd expect them to be be better and better in this year's Euro. And so far, I don't think I've been impressed by most of England's forward. But looking at the game, the last game that they played against Slovenia, I think they were a little bit better in the second half, when Cole Palmer was introduced, and also Anthony Gordon was introduced on the left, and Palmer on the right, with Mainoo was in midfield. I think we were seeing something that we didn't see for the last 2 games they played against Serbia and Denmark. So is it about the starting 11 that Southgate has been starting with? Remember, the first game he picked Foden as a left wing, and he picked Arnold as a midfielder, and Bellingham was at number 10 with Arnold and Rice as the 2 pivots player, and Harry Kane as striker, and Saka as a right wing. I think the defense has been good, played well. That is Walker, Stones, Gehi, and Kieran Trippier has been impressive so far. But the problem comes in midfield and attack, where I think there's been there's a discord between the midfield and the attack. There's no chemistry in between these players. They're just playing. Let's just play. Yeah, there's no chemistry. There's no tactics at all, because most of the time you see you find Foden playing on the left side, or rather playing on the right side of the midfield. But according to Southgate, he's supposed to play as a left winger. But for me, Foden is not a left winger, because he is a left-footed player. he always comes in and curls on the right. So if you can't play him as a number 10, I think you should play him as a left mid, or as a right midfielder, and or maybe as a right winger. But playing Foden as a left winger or as a left midfielder, I don't think can work, and it has not worked yet for England, because for Phil Foden has not been the Phil Foden we knew for Manchester City. Also called Jude Bellingham, I don't think is playing more offensively, because most of the time he is playing in deep midfield with Rice going to help the defense. So I think this is where Southgate needs to change. He needs to make changes if they are to win this year's Euro, because they are the favorite. We should see those changes against Slovakia. Do not underrate Slovakia at any circumstance, because you can get shocked. Remember, they drew nil with Slovenia, and Slovenia is just a team like Slovakia. Their playing tactics is the same. They always sit back and relax and hit you on counter attacks. That is what these kind of teams always do, because they can't go and they can't go head to head with England, because England have players with greater qualities than Slovakia. So as I said, they'll be playing an attacking football. They sit back and relax with the ball, and they're okay to have England with the ball. They're okay with that. They're just happy to be sitting back and hitting them on a counter attack. And you know what can happen? They might actually score a goal. So the England, Southgate should not underrate Slovakia, and he should start with a proper lineup. This is where you make sacrifices for the team. You decide to rest either Jude Bellingham or Phil Foden, so that you can play with a proper left winger. They need a proper left winger. But if you should, the only way he should play, he can play with both Foden and Bellingham, is playing with a 4-3-3 formation, where you have one defensive midfielder, or one holding midfielder, and two attacking midfielder, with Bellingham playing on the right, on the left, and Foden playing on the left. That is the only way you can accommodate Foden and Bellingham in the same starting 11. But if he likes playing with two holding midfielders, where I think he will start with Declan Rice and Mainoo, you should rest or rather bench either of Foden or Bellingham. The first game against Serbia, the second game against Denmark, and also the third game against Slovenia, England's left wing have been muted, on a mute, they silent. No crosses, no attacking threats. Sometimes Trippier is the one who tries to attack and also come back and defend, and is getting worn out. So I think this is where you should introduce either of Gordon or Eze to play as the left wing. Play at the left wing. I think Gordon can do that. Also Eze can do that. Play Eden, or rather play Gordon or Eze at the left flank. Play Saka on the right flank. Play Rice, Mainoo, and either of Bellingham or Foden, and Harry Kane up front. Second half, you can always bring in Foden and bring in Kopama and bring in Eze, or if you start Eze, you bring in Gordon. But if you started Gordon, you can either bring in Eze. If Harry Kane is having a good game, you can rest him for quarterfinals and bring in either of Ivan Toney or Oliver Watkins. For me, I'll always go with Ivan Toney, because for me he is a natural goal scorer, and Watkins for me is more like a forward than a striker. So if I want someone to replace Harry Kane, I will always go for Ivan Toney. These are the changes that we need to see Gary Southgate make. We want him to make these changes against Slovakia on Sunday, that is tomorrow. There are some rumors that Mainoo will get his first start in this year's Euro, and that means if the news are true, I think I will go with two holding midfielders with Mainoo and Rice starting. But I don't think Southgate will bench either of Foden or Bellingham. I just know it's going to start with both of them as usual, with Foden playing as a left wing, Bellingham in number 10, and also Saka on the right side with the Hurricane up front. I think this is what Southgate is going to go with against Slovakia. In goal, none other than Jordan Pickford. Defense, the fullbacks will be Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker. The centre backs, I think, is going to be, as usual, John Stones and McGahey. Two holding midfielders, Declan Rice of Arsenal and Kobe Mainoo of Manchester United. The three forwards and will be Foden, Bellingham, and Saka, with Hurricane as the lone striker. I think this is the perfect first 11 that I think of Gareth Southgate is going to pick up against Slovakia. A strong side, strong one, but for me, I will have made one change and rest either of Bellingham, Foden, and bring in Eze or Anthony Gordon. And if England will manage to qualify to the quarterfinals of this year's Euro, they will face either of Italy or Switzerland in the quarterfinals. Remember, Italy and Switzerland are playing today, and England will get to know their next opponent if they qualify today, if they face Italy or Switzerland. Another game that's going to play tomorrow, Spain versus Georgia. I think Spain, alongside Germany, has been one of the best teams so far in this Euro. Remember, 6 out of 6. Yeah, 6 points out of 6 points. I think they've been one of the best teams so far in this year's Euro. They qualified already, and they're facing Georgia. Spain, I don't need to talk a lot because I think they're superior. In the last 3 meetings with Georgia speaks a lot. They've been scoring goals against Georgia, and I think Spain is they play the Spanish way, the tiki-taka, and you could see that with them playing against Italy, against Croatia, and also against Albania, which they won. One of the best teams so far in this Euro, and I don't think there'll be a lot of changes to the side that won against Italy and also won against Croatia. With Unai Simon will definitely start in goal, with Dan Carvajal, Marc Cucurella as the fullbacks. Norman and Lapo, or maybe Norman and Nacho, will start as centre backs. In midfield, I think Rodri, as usual, 4-3-3. Rodri will start with Fabian Ruiz and also Pedri, with attacking players Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old, Alvaro Morata, and Nico Williams of Athletic Bilbao. For me, Spain, I think they are a threat, and I think one of the favorites to win this year's Euro. We should not sleep on them because they have a young squad, a good coach as well, and they're superior, and they pose a threat to England and also Germany. So if Spain were to qualify, if they qualify tomorrow, that is against Georgia to the quarterfinals, they will face either of Denmark or Germany. It's going to be a tough game for Spain, because if Germany manage to qualify today against Denmark and Spain qualify tomorrow against Georgia, we could see either of Spain and Germany, one of the two great teams, will have to go home in the quarterfinals, and that means one of the favorites will already be sent home, and will be left with a few: Portugal, Belgium, England, Italy, either Spain or Germany up there, and also France. I think France, I'm not impressed by France so far in this year's Euro. Only scoring one goal, that is the Kylian Mbappe on penalty, was the only goal scored by France so far, if minus the own goal scored by Austria. I think England and France they've not been at their best, and we hope that they could put that place, their group stage performance far away from them, and have a very nice performance in the semi-final, in the round of 16, quarterfinals, and eventually in the finals. In England can meet either of Germany, Spain, France, Portugal in the finals of this year's Euro. If England manage to qualify the finals, they will meet either of these heavyweights. So the final is going to be interesting, and as they say, England is the favorites so far to win this year's Euros. Yeah, that's it, guys, from us, HW Sports 90. England versus Slovakia, Spain versus Germany. But first, we have Denmark versus Germany, and we have Spain versus Georgia. But first today we have Italy versus Switzerland, Germany versus Denmark. Between Italy and Switzerland, whom do you think will qualify? And between Germany and Denmark, whom do you think will qualify? Will it be Germany, the host, or Denmark, or will Italy be upset? Remember, Italy are the defending champions. Will they qualify? Will they qualify to the quarterfinals, or will Switzerland upset them? And to tomorrow's game, England versus Slovakia and Spain versus Georgia, who do you think England can qualify if they have a proper game and a good performance? I know they are capable of destroying Slovakia with a lot of goals, but in this year's Euro, everything is possible as far as I'm concerned, and anything can happen. Do you think England will qualify, or will Slovakia end the song "It Is Coming Home"? Spain versus Georgia. For me, I think Spain is superior than Georgia, and I think Spain will qualify. But Georgia under Wojciech Varela, they have been brilliant. Remember, they won against Portugal, and they can surprise Spain as well. So rule number one in this year's Euro: do not underrate any team. That's it, guys. Let me know your views in the comments section below. Thanks for your time. Always thanks for being here, and I appreciate that so much. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.